What's good, y'all? This is Chris Nelson, and I'm just here, up bright and early right now, feeling good about life and stuff like that, and so much has happened. So much has happened this weekend that I can't complain about. It's just a wonderful. We had a wonderful experience at the Bob Marley Festival, the People Festival, a tribute to Bob Marley. A wonderful experience. It was an amazing experience. Yeah, so I'm up here bright and early, taking care of business. I'm just motivated and just happy. I'm just happy. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful week. Just far, a beautiful day. I know it's the first. I know it's Monday. So, but yeah, I want to get on here. I want to also get on here and connect with you guys about something. I wanted to say this about artists and musicians. I had a discussion last night with a really, really great musician I played with at a church service and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna say no names. I'm not gonna say what he plays or she plays. I'm just gonna just say in general. We had a discussion about last night about something, and he was saying to me, that person was saying to me about piano players have, if your piano player is playing in a certain way, certain direction, playing in the lower direction, the lower register with the bass player, it's the third, it's clashing. If you're playing other songs, people's songs in terms of like for church or playing cover songs with different bands that does cover tunes. Like for instance, my friend Ronan plays in a band called Jelly Roll, and he also has his own music and plays with us with Jelly Songbird. He was saying to me that piano players need to play close to little C, which is correct. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's really correct. You don't want to crash. You don't want to crash with the bass player. So, and I agree to a certain extent. I said, when I got my own songs too that I play in the bass register, and it works for me. I mean, he said that he saw one of my videos on YouTube, and he felt like I was crashing, not locking in with the bass player, and so forth and so on. And a lot of times, I want to say this: a lot of times people don't really understand. There's a difference between there's a difference between artists and musicians, and both. And I'm both, and I'm not just an artist, and I'm not just a musician. I'm both an artist and musician. And when the artist is creating music, you know what I'm saying? When the artist is creating their own music, and they play a song a certain way, the way they play it, to them it's not going to be clashing. Because when you're a creative person, you can always find a way. You can always find a way to build upon what you're doing. So I'm playing one of my songs on YouTube, and I do notice certain things that he may not know. Well, pretty much, for me personally, I know I can hear stuff on stage that's not correct. You know what I mean? And I may not want to address it at that time because, being professional, you don't really stop the show and correct the person. You actually, what actually professional does, we go behind the scenes and discuss with the musicians and with the singers. Okay, what note made this? What made sense? Or go at rehearsal. That all that stuff is never in rehearsal. If an artist has an idea that he or she want to put together, and have a different technique of way of playing, that's the artist's discretion of creating the music. And if the artist wants the music to be played exactly the way that they hear it in the head, then nine times out of 10 it's going to be that way. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to necessarily make sense musically in terms of how it's being played, but if it makes sense to the artist, then it makes sense to the artist. And sometimes, sometimes an artist can be, stubborn, like myself. I can be stubborn, and I can also be open. I'm very, very open to a lot of things, and I told, musicians I was, talking to, connecting with, I'm very, very open about trying new techniques. I'm saying I've been playing music for over 30 years in my life. And I'm still learning certain things. You never stop learning. You never stop learning. You know what I'm saying? As an artist and as a musician, you gotta always be open to new things. And I'm very, very open. I'm very, very open to try new things. I really, really am. I love trying new things. I love trying new things musically to enhance myself as an artist and as a musician and as a business person too as well. You know what I'm saying? So I want to encourage every artist. I know I said this before on other videos, but I want to encourage every artist. If you have a desire, if you have an idea, if you're a musician too, if you're an artist and musician, you write, you compose, you create, you sing, and perform the songs, your own songs, and you have a certain way of singing it and playing it, then do it that way. Yes, it's always great to take ideas or wisdom from other musicians and other artists that may have done things their way, or they do things in a traditional way. But if you have your mindset of how you want your songs to sound, and how you want to sing the song, how you want to perform the song, how you want to play the song, then you do it that way. Do it your way. Because at the end of the day, what makes sense to you counts, matters. And it's up to the artist who's leading the song, who's leading the band, to get the band to make it make sense to them too as well. And if it doesn't make sense to the band, you can always find other musicians to play how you want them to play the song. James Brown never followed the rules. Never followed the rules of how things go musically in this side. He always wrote the rules. I'm pretty sure Miles Davis, pretty sure Dizzy Gillespie, John Coltrane, I'm pretty sure Prince and Stevie Wonder. I'm pretty sure they all learned, traditional ways, but they also learned how to break the rules too. You know what I'm saying? So if you're an artist and you have your way of doing things, go with what you feel is right to you. Rules are meant to be broken sometimes, if it makes sense to you. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't have to make sense to the musicians, because they're not there to create the songs with you. Now, they're there to create the songs with you, that's one thing. And, you know what I'm saying? If you have a certain way, a certain goal to go a certain way, you can guide the musicians how you want it to sound. And that's fine. So especially if you're a musician too. Now, if you're just an artist and you don't know how to play an instrument, but you know how to bring out what you want out of the other musicians, how you want your sound to be, that's one thing. You know what I mean? But if you're a musician too, and you also write the songs and sing, perform, then it makes sense to you. It's always good to try new things. It's always good to take criticism and take lessons and wisdom from people who play for a long time, and I do, and I love it, and I don't mind it. But it's always also too, you gotta make sure it makes sense to you. If you got a way of playing a song or performing a song, and you want things to sound in your head the way it does sound, go that way. If you gotta change certain things, then change it. So I just want to encourage every artist. If you got a song, or if you got things you want, if you got a style, and you got songs that you create yourself, and nobody was there, but it was you creating the songs, then play it that way. Find different ways of enhancing the song and to get better. But if you have a certain way, a certain sound, stick to that sound. It doesn't matter if other musicians who's not there at the time that created the song with you, it doesn't matter what they think, what they say. It matters to you, how you feel about it. What do you feel makes sense to you, and go with that. You know what I'm saying? All of the musicians, all of the artists, like Ice Cube and NWA said a long time ago, you know, if you have a certain way of expressing yourself, go with that. And I'm gonna say this on top of that. I paraphrase what he said, but the point is, we as musicians, as artists, front people, we got to go on stage every night and perform our songs every night. You know what I'm saying? And if we want to change certain things, absolutely, we'll definitely try new things to change. Try new things to change it, to enhance it. But if it works for us to play the song and sing the song in a certain way, then we're going to do it that way. Because first of all, you have to understand, if the song makes sense to us, the song resonates with us first, then it's going to resonate with other artists, with the people. At the end of the day, if you, the artist, is not feeling the song, and this is what I believe, if you, the artist, is not feeling the song, then it's not gonna make sense. It's not gonna make sense to perform the song how you want. It's not gonna make sense how you want to perform the song to the public. If you're not feeling the music yourself, then 9 times out of 10, in my opinion, this is my opinion, your audience is not going to feel it either. Because if you're not feeling it, if you're not feeling it yourself, what makes you think that your fans are going to feel it? I believe the artists should feel their own stuff. I believe the artists should feel and enjoy their music first before anybody else feels it. That's what I believe. Because we gotta be on stage every time, on tour every time, and we gotta feel it every time. The way we sing our songs, the way we produce it, the way we direct it, the way we perform it on stage, we gotta feel it every time. If the music's not right, we're not gonna play it. We'll get through it, but we're not gonna be satisfied. It starts with the artist. It starts with the creative person who's creating the music. We got to be on stage every time to perform. And I think, if I'm performing a song that I don't like, I'm not gonna give you. I'm gonna work my ass off on stage to give you the best show I can give you. But if I'm not feeling that song, I'm not gonna. 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna play it until I find a way to make me feel right. Make things. Make that song, make that melody, make that lyric make sense to me. It's all, but so yeah. I want to encourage, like I said before, if you have ideas of how you want your songs to be, go with it, because it's your idea. It came from you. It came from the Most High to you. It came from the Creator to you. So you do that. Do it like that. Whatever you feel as though is right for you, go for it. Rules are meant to be broken sometimes. Okay? Don't follow the trends. Set your own trends. Even if it's music that you create your own stuff, set your own trends. Because it has to make sense to you first. And if other musicians don't understand that, you can always hire other musicians. You can always hire musicians who are open to follow what you're doing. because you're the one that's creating the music. You're the one that's creating the magic. You're the one that's just writing the songs, writing the material. Be open, yes, absolutely. Be open to ideas and wisdom and guidance, but always follow what's in your heart, what's in your mind, what's in your spirit to do. Whether it's singing the music, whether it's playing the music, or whether it's not singing and playing. Whether it's singing the music or playing the music or doing both and performing on stage. If you're creating the songs behind the scenes, make it make sense to you before you release the songs to the world. First, make sure that you're feeling it first. And if you're feeling the song first, it's all that matters. Yes, have test runs to see what people like. But all in all, you gotta make sure that the art. You gotta make sure that the art makes sense to you. If it makes sense to you, go with it. Go with it. I don't mean to be too long with this, but I had to get this out. Because I have conversations with artists and musicians all the time. You know what I'm saying? And it's a debate. It's always good to have debates, because you get to learn new techniques, you get to learn new ideas, and you get to try it. But it's up to you. It's up to your discretion. Each person on this planet has their own journey, their own way of thinking, their own way of doing things. Go with that. If it don't make sense to the audience, or if it don't make sense to musicians or other people, correct it. It's in your discretion to correct those problems if you feel as though it's a problem. But if you don't feel as though it's a problem, if it makes sense to you, go with that. There's too many people out here, too many artists out here that sound the same. Maybe on purpose, or maybe by accident, by happenstance. And that's fine. But as an artist and a musician, as an artist, you got to find your path and your own sound. Always find that. I encourage every artist to find your own path, your own sound. Even if it doesn't make sense to me, it makes sense to you. That's all that matters. If you're feeling it, it's all that matters. Okay? I love y'all. Stay strong. Remember, what makes sense to you, you gotta perform it every night. You gotta perform it every night or every day on tour. You gotta perform it. If you're writing the songs, writing the music, if you're performing, if you're an artist and you're a front person, you gotta perform your songs every time on stage. So make sure when you're in the studio, make sure you're creating music, make sure it makes sense to you first. Listen to the songs 1,000 times over. If you're feeling it in here, in your soul, in your spirit, then it's right to you. Then it's right for you. Don't worry about what people don't like. Not everybody is gonna like your music. Michael Jackson didn't have everybody like his music. Of course, the whole world loved his music, but not everybody completely loved his music. The same way with Prince, and that's okay. They found their audience. They found their fans, so-called fans, their friends. Patti LaBelle, Patrice Rushen, Stevie Wonder. Everybody's not gonna like your own music. They understood that, but they found art. They found the people that did like the music, and they went with that. It's okay. It's totally okay. There's music out there that I don't like, but they got their fans, and they got their friends. They got their support system that does it. That's fine. I respect that. So yeah, artists, find your own way. Find your own way. If you got a vision, if you got artists, if you got the vision, if you got a certain way of doing things in the studio, a certain way of writing songs, or creating the music, composing the music, go with that. Tweak it, of course. Take in the criticism, take in wisdom and wise advice, of course, do that. But always go your own way. Always go your own way. If it's good to you in here, in your heart, soul, mind, and spirit, go with that. All right? I love y'all. Stay strong. Peace.